you know, you clearly listen to and respect. He's been in the game for a long time, and speaking of which, we are in the game now as Dignitas start off on the T side and FURIA on that CT side, and Digger just going straight down middle through connector.
Oh boy,
I like it.
This is a nasty surprise. Look at all the utility FURIA bought, but they kind of been expecting this. One HE grenade deployed, but that will do nothing. Dignitas have taken almost all the CT positions. They're in the jungle area, but they haven't moved to the site. They've lost the site now, and they're kind of trapped in this bubble, but they have burst the heads of these FURIA players. Now they'll make their way towards the B-bomb site, so it seems it might work out for them in the end. Rix will have the high ground advantage. I'd imagine FURIA will both go towards the short position together. Indeed, they will. They need kills. They need frags. They've used their smoke grenades. They've used all their grenades, FURIA, but they've made their way into short, and no one seems to be watching it at the moment. Peter has a quick glance, and he's got a lot of information. That new bench wall, less penetrable than the previous, and these lowly USPs will not have much success there. I don't think Rich has played his card just yet. Peter with the first headshot. Spacker with 16 HP versus 3. It was not to be.
That was very awkward. It kind of looked like Dignitas had a grand plan at the beginning, and then things got a little bit complicated, and then it seemed very, very much down to the fact that they had to sort of fight around the vents, which is really uncomfortable.
I found it curious that 3 players all went to jungle together.
Yes, that's kind of the weird one there. I mean, I could see it if they wanted to just jump back out the window, or something kind of crazy like that, but finding there was risky. It worked out for them though, so 3 MP7s, a UMP and an AK-47 is now what they have to play with, and those are certainly good guns to deal with players who are without Kevlar or helmets. Got 2 Kevlars, but that's it. Don't tease the scout. You've got to be careful against the scouts in this round. The scout is very much the one thing that can go wrong for you, so you have to be careful about it.
Art is... okay, he's still in a position where he could jump out of the window. He does not want to go too deep, because if he tags and then dies, it's not so good for the CT side. Keserato rotating towards CT of A. Vinny having a look on ramp, moving towards triple box. So it seems FURIA are gravitating towards the A site for the most part, with Art having the angle. And I watched Art in the warm-up, and he had an AWP, and he missed almost every shot I saw him take, which is quite worrisome. He is moving towards that middle area, so he can hold down the area through connector. But there are 3 smokes here for Team Dignitas. 35 seconds on the clock, and Keserato could put a smoke down on the ramp position. I don't know why he hasn't used it just yet. And there it goes. So again, the anti-eco for Dignitas, this is quite concerning. They've got no kills just yet. There's a smoke in the middle of the A site. That is a huge frag from Grim, and that might be the problem solved for Team Dignitas.
Yep, bomb down. Danger has been averted, avoided, eluded, redirected, diffused. All of the words.
Concluded.
All of the words. Bish bash bosh.
Uprooted.
Won't be having none of your tosh. Okay, 2-0. One more round. I would like to see just a rush into B apartments, into the B bomb side, just rush all the way. I think that would be pretty good. With the like the UMPs, let the SMGs go first.
You what, mate?
Ineligible.
There was much there was much confusion there.
I hope there's a soundboard. I bet. I guess there's not. I guess they haven't imported the soundboard. It's not easy to broadcast. Looks like they choose to go middle, and well, it has the same effect, the same result that I was looking for, which is everyone getting wrecked as soon as possible. And now it's just Art.
The Fuse, recently enabled on FACEIT, recently taken away from Art. I don't even think he got to fire that. He did. Alright then, Spacker is going to be the one sniping. Probably for the best. No Kevlar for Spacker. Investments were made. They were bad investments. Where is this headed? One would presume towards the window. Not your usual angle for a smoke, but a good one. See if there are any gaps on the sides. Yuri's looking for one. Can he see anything? Oh, he will. Oh, he was teased. He may have seen the rubber of the sole of a shoe, but that was about it. In fact, Grim will get the first kill. Still with the MP7. Nice shot from Infinite, and that would have been a key one, but that's the bomb lost. And I don't think anybody is near enough to really rescue it. Rix is below the window. That's a problem.
Yeah, you can see Grim is really afraid to peek wide there because of this player on short. He'll get taken down by Yuri in the end. Oh, that's a very important frag from Rix, but his health is low now. Got dinked. Down to 11. He's got reinforcements, but again, they have to go and collect the bomb. They've got to take down Keserato with brute force. There is a smoke. That could be critical, and a flash. The second flash now collected as well. So, forward smoke. Smoke off the bomb. Wait out some of the spray. They've got time to do so. Flash up high. Bomb. Oh, wait! It's the guy who's got 11 HP. He went for it, and he actually escaped without taking a single bullet. That is surprising, but it will be effective, it would seem. And Keserato does not have an angle. Mitch does, though. And this does not look like Keserato is going to be able to make this work. The positioning here for the tease is very good, but how does he catch Mitch there? Just going out of position. Perfect timing. Everything's lining up for Keserato. Just one more player to find. 11 HP. Rix has a horrible disadvantage in this next engagement, but Keserato doesn't know where he is. He may have to be guessing. Oh, doesn't seem in time, but oh, wow. Still, though, Rix did not get the frag. He was not quick enough.
The one place he didn't check was the one place Rix was, but the spray wasn't there. 10 HP. And that would have been a really unfortunate loss for FURIA, but again, this could be a blessing in disguise for Team Dignitas. It's okay for the CT side to win one round.
Yep.
That is, for Team Dignitas, that is the best way that FURIA can win one round. Only one person survives, which means they have to spend all their money. And that's the first round they've won. Their buy's going to suck. You can see Art has to buy a FAMAS to get his utility. Team Dignitas have lots of money. If they win this round, there's a fair chance they go 6-1, 7-1 up. So this just gives them an opportunity. If they win this round, FURIA have nothing to defend with. Because the loss bonus is in the toilet. It's in the bin.
Yeah, it works out perfectly. And I would love to well, we're going to find out what the choice is from Dignitas, but there's so many different options with a round like this. You could try to exploit the lack of utility, you could try to exploit the fact that you have Peter on the AWP or the Rangers, or you could try to just go for a default middle, get map control, play slow rounds. And there's a challenge in the window from Yuri with the rifle, and he's going to get taken down very quickly. Keserato on top of the double stack here will be able to take down one and two. No response. And now this is problematic, but the A bomb site is had by Dignitas. Yes,
they need to get a... Oh dear, Mitch was on the bench position and he's lost the bomb. Grim had a smoke grenade and he was on the A site, but he did not deploy it fast enough. It really needed to go down, but never mind that. Grim is on his own now. 1 versus 3. Such a key round for Dignitas. Worst case scenario, he needs to take out more players. He cannot just stay with this. As you can see, an off angle is being held on the jungle position, or the crawl space rather, by Spacker. So surely Grim is about to go down. Now, I don't know what he was doing on the site at the time, but he had a smoke. If the smoke goes down, be it for Connector or the wall between Connector and jungle, then the bomb can get planted. But instead, his teammate gets taken out by the bench position right here.
Yeah.
And then it all falls apart from there.
It could have been a miscommunication. It could have been whoever had the bomb just not realizing they had the bomb. That's always a possibility too. There's lots of things small little things that could have gone wrong there for that situation to happen. But yeah, it was definitely less than ideal.
But at that point, you have 2 dead players. They need to be looking at the mini-map and what the whole team are doing and just say, like, if something needs to be done. I mean, well, it depends on your structure. Maybe they're not allowed to and it's just the in-game leader, but there we are. And now all of a sudden it's FURIA's opportunity because there's no more money for Dignitas, no plan. Bomb lost once again. Vinny happy to stay in mid. He's got Yuri coming in for support. There's a flashbang over the mid position. And he will escape with that. Bomb collected by Mitch. Mid given up. But Connector in control for now. Vinny caught short though. He was in the red, now he's dead. And there are guns to be collected by these 2 players.
Okay, there's a chance. AWP in hand for Mitch. He's going to toss the bomb aside. for his teammate. His teammate promptly got shot, so he's going to have to do it himself. But the bomb's in a worse position now.
They didn't even pick up the M4.
Oh God, what is that? Oh no, standing in the open where his teammate just died.
So they killed the guy, they killed Vinny, who was throwing a grenade in connector. Then ran to A, ran past Vinny's M4, which is by the stairs, which I think is where Mitch just died, maybe going to get the M4. So that was less than ideal. However, regardless, Dignitas are back on the bye. The monetary situation for FURIA is leaves much to be desired, so this is a key round for both teams early on here on Mirage. But of course, the all eyes on FURIA are mapped down at the moment, and definitely a heavy underdog.
Spacker with the AWP could be in for some fun, though fun has been ruined by Mitch. Thanks, mate. Just dropping a smoke. Can't see anything now. It's a bit boring, isn't it? Either way, Vinny going for that AUG. He loves the Stera AUG. We've shot a Stera AUG.
Yeah, I love an AUG.
I think I've shot one and you shot one. Everyone shot one. It was fun. Satisfying gun in the game. Although you don't see it too often. It doesn't have that one-shot potential.
I'm not
that
sure
the
if it's
Krieg does.
satisfying in the game, Dan, but it's actually satisfying to shoot the real one. Wow, that's a novel smoke for the stairs. Different, it's a hybrid to what you normally see, but Art still gets off to a good start now, focusing on the Palace position, but there are different targets. You'll hear the bomb being planted from a short position. No spray from the player in connector, and there is a flank from the chair position, but the CTs are coming in with all the frags. Mitch now really relying on Peter, who has to take a conservative position because he could be exposed to 3 different places if he faces CT. He still gets 1 kill there, and now Mitch has been spotted. The numbers game will prevail for FURIA. They can pick up the AWP as well. And it looks like they might go for a second one. Indeed they will.
It's cool how Art was playing the AWP, because what you could notice is that he never jumped up on the box until very, very, very late. And we couldn't see Peter's perspective, but Peter with the AWP at the pit position, he's staring at that spot. He was staring at that spot for a very long time, and he's getting absolutely 0 because Art was just doing what he was supposed to do. He's not supposed to get 100% of the kills. He's supposed to get a couple of the kills and just provide threat and presence, so that there are players looking at his position always suspicious that he could be jumping up on the box, and it just never happened because he has discipline. So we're seeing a better FURIA at the moment into these first few rounds of Mirage. Hopefully that is something that stays consistent here in Mirage for them. Dignitas looking like they want to just go into the A bomb sites. No two ways about it.
The bomb in Palace with Mitch in tow. Dignitas simplifying the stratego. They'll wait for the initial ramp smoke to dissipate, but the Palace smoke poses a problem for them now. Minute 25, and FURIA have seen nothing anywhere. Keserato and Spacker deep in the B bomb site, playing a 2-man setup, which will leave them a longer rotation. Vinny with that AUG waiting for more players to come out, and there's more harassment from the AWPer in the jungle position, but he's not peeking anymore. Crossing, no smoke on CT just yet. Art missing a very close-up shot. That's what I'm talking about. Shades of the warm-up. Absolute sitter. And that may make all the difference. 3 on 3. Peter picked off. Maybe there's still a chance.
Oh, that's close. Very close. Oh man, we saw a similar situation, I felt like, on the pistol. Just sort of awkward spot. Oh wow, the catch onto Spacker. Now, not sure if he made the jump. Oh, did he make the jump across the short? I think he did. Yeah, nicely done. This is really interesting. Rix will be able to get a plant off. So player in the shop and Vinny making an incredibly long rotation around the apartments. Keserato, can he wait for his teammates? Very quiet right now as neither team knowing exactly where one another is actually standing at the moment. And there's not been much time left here for FURIA. It took them so long to get into this position. Vinny out with the scope on the AUG. Love to see it. Now down to Infinite. It's an open plant. And they have to just go for it. Oh no, he's spraying wide to the left. Oh, so close. And they're going to get the defuse. That was a bit awkward, wasn't it?
There was all kinds of awkward in that round. All kinds. The smoke's so good. The full spray. You can see the frustration there. It's always a tough one. The AUG is all over the place. Yeah, so Art is the second sniper. But, I mean... he needs to pull his socks up. Because that was a really bad shot to miss from that distance. They can't really afford that at the moment. He really doesn't want to blow all of his bullets, but he does find the kill there in the connector position through the smoke. Meanwhile, Infinite makes a play into the window, and I do wonder if he's been heard. Definitely hasn't, the way Art is peeking. I don't think he really knows if somebody's there or not, but there's somebody in the ladder room as well. So he could even double peek the jungle position, but he will make his way out. Now, if he scopes again anywhere close to the market door, like that, the Infinite will hear that. So he will know roughly where he is, and decides to peek the sniper, maybe expecting him to be looking into B, but that's an opportunity lost. 3 versus 5 now for Team Dignitas versus FURIA.
He's got a good position. He's had a good timing, but maybe not. Mitch will adjust in time. Vinny by the pits. Honestly, this looks very, very difficult for Dignitas. Art's going back out though. The flash coming in, somehow escaping that situation. Dignitas don't really have a great way onto the site, and they've got to make a call here because there's 25 seconds to go. Peter has the bomb. He's got to be the one to make it onto a site too. Good containment here from FURIA.
Looks like Rix is maybe trying to still a fake to pull people out of position so they can try and plant the bomb, but I don't think it's the first time they tried to do something like that, and I think it's too complicated for the situation. There were around 25 seconds on the clock. This situation was unfortunate, although I don't know what else they could have really tried to do with that information, in fairness. Arts conceded his position with the scope, but he had no idea if somebody was in the window or not. But that did start the process of a victorious round for FURIA. And now, as you can see at the top, that is 6 rounds in a row for FURIA. So we're talking 6-0 status. Dignitas are failing on all fronts at the moment.
Yeah.
That said, they are still getting fragged. So the money, the economy for FURIA is still brittle. But this would be an unlikely round. Certainly not an impossible one for them to win. Seen rounds won with less. And it won't be a contact play into the B-bomb site. It'll be a straight charge. And they are not prepared for FURIA. I think there's a Molotov down. Finally, Spacker getting off to a good start. There are more targets though. And there are 3 CT players here. I think there are 4. And that will be a simple cleanup for FURIA. I'm surprised they don't make a contact play there. Because maybe some Molotovs go down, but it went down anyway. You can bounce a flashbang off out of the apartments, and then away you go. Because it is a lot of warning from the point where the CTs hear you to the point of being near the windows. And you can just cut that down, wait a few seconds. You could be A, you could be B, you could be underpass. So I think a contact play has value there.
Yeah, Art's ready for this as well. This is a big problem because if Mitch goes down straight away, they know the bomb is there. Ooh, this is scary, isn't it? Art seems to have a good read of this. Or at least he knows how to play these angles. Oh, that's so sneaky. Oh, he's going to bait them out with the smoke. Scoping when it blooms as well. That is so smart. Are they going to fall for this? Oh, the tension. I can't deal with this right now. Art is still holding, and he's going to get it. Sees the bomb. Beautiful. That's going to trigger the push from mid as well.
I do wonder if they heard the scope. It would be curious to find out. Smokes in connector. 3 of the 4 players. The bomb was spotted by the CTs in Palace. So what can Dignitas do? Art may be compromised here. He needs to rely on his teammates to deliver the other frag. But the T's are coming in. 3 plays in connector, 3 kills for Team Dignitas. A 1 tap from Vinny, but he needs a lot more. Gets a second 1 versus 1. Doesn't work out. Now Spacker coming through jungle will go down for free because Rix is in a superior position. FURIA with much of the information. But still they lose the round.
It's kind of crazy, isn't it? You see the bomb going down in Palace. Kind of looked good. It seemed like a desperation, sort of panic rush in, sort of commit. Dignitas may have had a different timing, but as soon as that frag happens in Palace, they just have to go, and they make it work really well still. So kind of crazy. It's one of those rounds where I have to like look at it again in the demo, see how everything happens. Vinny sticking true to the Org. Ooh, the Org not even able to be drawn in time there. Yuri does go down as well. The A-bomb site completely compromised. Guess Arato could actually peek out potentially, I think. Don't think anyone was covering the bomb there. But it looks like he will disappear with his mates. Try to save the value that they have currently. Their money is all but gone. But with 3 weapons saved, even 2, they could buy in the next round. So the question is whether Dignitas would like to try to challenge. It's very difficult. They could maybe decide to get 1 guy on the hunt and see if he can do something, but we'll see whether or not that'll be the case. Looks like they're just going to hang out and just, there's a gentleman's agreement in place. No one will fight anyone. Everyone, you'll stay over on your respective side of the map and we'll stay on ours.
Gentlemen's.
Gentleman's.
FURIA will buy around what they saved. 2 rounds in a row now for Dignitas. A 2-6 situation. A tactical timeout has been called by FURIA. 7 rounds so far. 7 rounds from 12. I think is a good situation for FURIA for the time being. Of course, they will want more. But I'm just thinking of going into their T side. I want to see some proper T rounds from them. And having 7 rounds already on the CT side definitely leaves room for that. Win or lose. But let's see what they can do in these last 3 rounds. And the same for Dignitas as well. Mitch 11 for 8 at the moment. He is leading the charge on the server along with Queserato. Vinny and Yuri on the A site have 4 players heading in their direction. Setting up A with Smokes. Vinny having a look. He will hear things and now he will see things. MP7 spread is only good for the 1 kill. Mitch, does he make a play? He's given his position away with a jump. But he's jumped into a smoke. So it's free information for Yuri, who just waits, but he's looking the wrong way. And his teammate almost goes down for it. Flashbang from his teammate, and Rix will be eliminated, and that leaves Infinite. So I do wonder why... well, let's see if Infinite can do anything else. I do wonder why whoever it was in Palace just jumped into the corner of the smoke. Like, he gave sound cues, but didn't push. I don't know if there was a last-minute call to not push through or something, but... that made life harder for Dignitas in that round.
Well, the money sucks for everyone. No one is having a good money day. Oh, ooh, can't make the jump across the mid, that's fine though. Can always disappear back into connector. Some light presence from Dignitas on B apartments. A response from Spacker. Deep flash into the AWP peak. What's he going to find here? He's definitely very suspicious, heard the movement. There's been no presence from Dignitas anywhere else on the map. They're just waiting for pushes towards A. And this may bite them in the backside later on. Because FURIA don't have to worry about too much. They haven't had to use any utility really yet because of the lack of pressure. So much emphasis around B apartments at the moment.
Yes, and that has caused the rotation from FACEIT, but he has no pop flashes. There are some really nice pop flashes from the window of B to allow somebody to peek from balcony. You would see it on some Cloud9 pistol rounds when they're on the CT side sometimes. But FACEIT has no flashbangs, and he is now rotating back towards the A site as the bomb is. 3 smokes down on A. Vinny playing up close. No bait situation. He's there on his own, and players are moving through Palace now, starting to walk. I don't know if he would have heard anything. I'm assuming not. Peter, Infinite, and Rix all in Palace. 1 flashbang thrown towards the B bomb site, and that's pulled 2 players towards B, leaving Vinny alone on the ramp. And now they start to waterfall, and he will have to fall back because his team are completely out of position. But Yuri will hear 2 players. They're going to try and boost up into the window. 1 will get taken down for free. So they know there are max 3 players on the A site.
Very smart from Vinny to just abandon it and just hold behind. Like right now, FURIA are playing quite well. They're making some good decisions. Infinite looking to hold things on. Peter saving the day so far, and the rest of FURIA will get wiped out. But I felt like that did start off fairly well for them. And with Dignitas, they didn't do anything on the entire map for over a minute of time. They were just sitting in apartments and then eventually just decided, okay, we'll just rush into A now. So I'm not sure I'm a big fan of that kind of approach, but...
Well, they did pull massive rotation with just flashbangs. So maybe against a stronger opponent, they would need to do more. But it did pull FURIA completely out of position to the point where there was 1 player on ramp who was spotted immediately by 3 players coming out of Palace. So he couldn't even play a lurk role in that situation. FURIA now with a mixed bag for this last round. Have 3 players playing deep on A. Urina, Palace, Vinny, and Art around the ramp. Slowly shoulder picking, taking big risks here. No pop flash. They don't want the T's to know in case they're not there. But whereas the rotation, nobody's on the ramp. And still only FACEIT is in the B bomb site. 1 minute on the clock. Dignitas moving towards the ramp position. So now Connector is exposed. Now Vinny's moving away from the ramp area towards CTA. Werewolf's back ahead. He's heading towards the B bomb site, and it seems that will be a split from the T's.
So that big flank could be a bit worrisome. It is Art with the FAMAS, so it's not a bad gun as well for it. If only his teammates can slow things down on the bomb site. Keserato jumps up, can't get anything. Vinny does find a way in thanks to the smoke, but also taken down. And Art's got to be careful here because he wants to try to get 2 if he can, but he's going to have to give his position away straight away. And he's got 1 HP left. He is going to be very toasty if he hangs around. And yeah, that looks like that's about it. Interesting, tossing in the smoke. He's considering suicide. Oh no, it's all over. There we go. There's a bit of a song and dance at the end there, wasn't there? But 8-7, Team Dignitas bringing things back towards the end. And it's an interesting Mirage so far. I'm not sure what to make of it.
Yes, it's... I agree. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I don't have like one defining point really.
Yes, but FURIA are on the T side now, and this is what I want to see.
Yeah, that's true.
This is just my focus. I want to see some good T rounds from them on any map.
Yeah, that has been the trouble, hasn't it? The big trouble for them, that T side.
Starts with the pistol, and they have a conga line going towards the B bomb site. Peter will hear them early. There are no counter grenades though here for the CTs, but they do have 3 players in situ. 1 boosted on default who won't reveal his position just yet. You can see Grim just biding his time, allowing his teammate to be the bait. He's got to look to his left and to his right though. Hello, there's 1, and there is not a second one. But the CTs are close. Rick's slowly moving through the underpass area, so eventually he will have the high ground advantage, and Infinite with a nice 1-tap. But where is Keserato? He is waiting for that second player to come up, but Rix is repositioned and running up the short area to cover the angles, which Infinite doesn't have. Tap, 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 tap. Gets there eventually. 8-8.
Well, that's a good start. That's a very good start for Team Dignitas. Getting all the cash in that bank. So scouts out on Arts, and we'll see the force buy from his teammates too. So there is danger. There's danger. That's a good grenade though. Starting things off well. Keserato looking for that 1D. And he's going to get one in the face himself. He was asking for it. Smacker walking the hot coals. And FURIA, they've taken a lot of damage here, and they haven't done much back to Dignitas just yet. Peter has a good position. Here's the running. Could just wide peek this. And indeed, he'll get the kill into Spacker. Now they're just dying one by one, just trying to take the aim battles, but it's not going their way. This is a very cool little beast, just walking with the boost. Rix, he realizes though, he's no fool.
Rix ain't no fool.
He ain't no fool. 9-8, and now it's Glock rounds.
Glockly.
Let's get those Glocks going.
3 MP7s in this round, and I wouldn't be surprised if they kept all of them, should they all survive. For the next round, this is a money-making opportunity for the team wielding the MP7s. Now, it would be nice to have... So here we go. Here's a contact play. No reason not to use it to get close. 2 grenades, slightly early, and there is a Molotov, which will cause some problems. There are some angles from short as well, but Rix maybe pulled a grenade out either way. They have been contained for the time being, and maybe Rix could have replenished the Molotov once the initial push stopped before the first one disappeared. So there's a chance to plant the bomb now. Definitely think it could have been deployed there. But there will be no plants.
Yes, Mitch will find the remaining kills. 10-8, and we'll get the AKs out for FURIA. Lack of a plant's always a bit sad, but they did have enough in the bank for some grenades anyways. So they should be okay. I would like to see what they have in so far as mid-takes are concerned, just because I feel like that really tells me a lot about a team's ability to play Mirage, is how well they can do mid-takes.
Maybe they won't be allowed to, because Dignitas have 2 men in the middle of mid. Peter's been smoked off his position, the flashbang is there, and Vinny is no longer there. Yuri is still blind, and the CTs are trying to fall back. However, Peter's been picked off by Spacker, and the trade is there with the MP7, making some more cash. The T's now streaming into the A bomb site, and Mitch has been picked off. Fireboxes are on fire. Art moving around the smoke, taking some damage through though. Thick from Rix. Lots of spray. They seem to know that somebody's there. Another Molotov towards Firebox, and all 3 FURIA players are here on A now.
Yeah, a couple very weak though. And Infinite will find one. Keserato will finally fall. Bomb is down, needs to be planted, although there is a minute to go for that. Rix will start to close to suffocate the remainder of FURIA until there is nothing left. 11-8, and the first buy round has been dealt with. And as you mentioned, they managed to do so by holding on to the MP7s, which is huge. You can see their economy is reflecting that very fact quite nicely. The AWP comes out onto Peter, and this is where things can start to get a bit scary, because I think Team Dignitas' ability to take the initiative on the CT side, I think that's going to really cause a lot of problems for FURIA. So we do get dive into mid there. A push coming in as Peter covers with the AWP. Mitch has that MP7, he goes in, they're all blind! Oh no! No helmets as well. It's always a fun feeling, isn't it? Satisfying.
Rix falling back. Keserato has the bomb in Palace. So ultimately, FURIA will need to head in that direction, although he's moving away now. And now he's running away. Now he's been reported missing. Grim, this is a nice angle, especially for such a round. He should have opportunity to fall back unless he is unlucky. Did he see a touch of a gun there? He did, yes. He'll play it safe, out of there immediately, get the molly in. One player's made his way out, but there is the bomb. Back into apartments for you? No, back into the floor with your teammates. No plants. It's getting tougher for FURIA. And the 0-2, the shadow of the 0-2 is starting to loom large. The eclipse is coming.
The AKs are out though, but the double ops definitely are scary. One way to deal with them is a set piece, and we'll see a smoke for FACEIT. Let's see if that does all that much here in the way of baiting things out. You see, utility is going to be used by Dignitas. They're going to definitely read this as a rush into the A site. But looks like FURIA using that distraction to clear out, to have a safe passage in middle, which is quite cool actually. And we'll see FACEIT trying to do the damage, but it's Infinite who just defends at the front of the push. Will eventually go down, but has he done too much damage? FACEIT, ooh, got to be careful, spinning around.
Know your angles.
Spinning around. Yep, he wasn't sure what to actually check.
You have to know that if someone is standing in that corner, you'll be exposed to that angle at that point, and you need to check it. Art 1 versus 3. The bomb is down in the middle of A. How does he take a 1 versus 1? He's briefly forced Mitch off the short position, but died to Peter from B. And there's round number 13 for Team Dignitas. All the rounds in this half going the way of the North American squad. And both pistols as well, which has been quite problematic for FURIA. Losing both pistols makes life quite hard indeed, and when you are an underdog, that is the last thing you need. Tactical timeout from FURIA at the moment. This might feel like last chance saloon, surely. We've got Galil's coming out in order to buy some utility.
That's not fun, is it? I like a Galil. I like a good Galil.
Yeah, me too.
Often. Although it doesn't tell a great story.
I'm pretty sure it does better armor penetration than an M4.
Yeah, I think it has really good armor pen. But its fire rate sucks, and this spray is hard to control.
Spray is the Titan logo in reverse. It's only hard if you're bad at a game.
Wow. That's rich coming from a UK Div 2 player, James.
Div 1, mate. What are you talking about?
Lies.
Truth.
Well, we got the short push coming up from FURIA. Rick's ready though, and Vinny jumps around the corner. Rick's able to cover his retreat with the incendiary. Smoked off now. It's a really good, strong start from Dignitas. Grim is holding tight to the van, and there doesn't seem to be too much of a way for FURIA to push that, and they recognize it and fall back. Dignitas have very strong positions still on the map. 3 towards B at the moment. They've conceded a lot of ground around middle and A, so got to keep tabs on that crawl space. And wow, that's a bold challenge from Art. He can't get it done.
3 plays remain for FURIA. Yuri doesn't have the bomb, so Dignitas don't know where it is just yet. 2-0-2 set up for the CT. It's a nice shot from Grim. Has he got more in him? The pop flash is there. Infinite's boosted up. Surely they won't check this. Nobody ever checks this. He's playing the time, doesn't want the bomb to go down. He will delay, strafes, and the Spacker cannot respond in time. And that leaves FURIA up the creek. There are no paddles, and the crocodiles are coming.
Yep, Team Dignitas look pretty happy with that one. You can see smiles all around. 14 rounds is a nice place to be. Mac 10's that MP7 out for FURIA. That's desperation if I ever saw it. We fast up short here, running through the smoke perhaps. And Artis found himself a very fast timing, but with a Mac 10, it's really hard to exploit that because the ranges are all medium to long. His teammates will rush in regardless, and the defense is going to go well here for Dignitas. Rick still holding on to Sandwich, and he will get shot in the side of the head. Too much to handle with Art in that forward position. But can they get the bomb down?
As long as Art doesn't go beyond his position. It is awkward though, he can't show to ladder him because he's got a Mac 10. But he's got some important control. Now, they can plant... Ooh, or can they? Does he commit to it? He's got to get the bomb down eventually. There we go. He went for the default plant. He could have planted on the other side, which would have probably given him better angles, especially with Art in jungle. It would have been a better plant for the tees. Oh, dear me. Must be 4x3, surely. FACEIT now to avoid match point versus 2 players coming in from the same direction. There's the first one. Peter in the red now. How on earth could Peter win this? How is he still alive? Keserato, he clutches it for his team. Very important stuff. Collects an AWP as well. 9 rounds for FURIA. Their first round in this half.
That's big. That's big. And the money is diminishing for Team Dignitas. So if they can string this one together, you know, we're starting to look at FURIA that are very likely to get up to 11 rounds at the very least. So things not looking too shabby actually for them, all things considered. Mitch though looking under the smoke to see if anybody can find Peter as well from the window position. Can't find too much. Will announce his presence though, which is always good to do, and he'll reposition. And Mitch will take one down, and that's kind of the fanciness of being able to announce the presence of one AWP in one position and then having another one immediately in a different angle. Wouldn't expect that. They're going to go for the mid boost.
Sound cues. That gives Art the confidence. But, again, it's a role reversal now. But Art knows what is possible here. He's considering smoking it off, but he will bide his time for the time being. Man disadvantage for FURIA. But what can they really do with this position? Seems Art will stay there and try to catch the rotation, but see how it works out. Rick's in Infinite playing close A, and Peter on the ramp. Peter will run a lot of distraction if they come out of the ramp. So this will be very interesting to see.
Yeah, these positions are really good. Art in jungle needs to die straight away, but he doesn't. He actually takes an Infinite, but that might be really good because they may not suspect there to be another player here. Rick's now has to get 3 kills. They still check it though, and that's Keserato. Very diligent. And that is so key. If Keserato didn't check that, they likely lose 2 players. And now it's a pretty much one round here from FURIA, and you can see that it is a mission to try to save the remaining guns. The buy for Team Dignitas will be quite stretched in the following rounds.
I like the decision from FURIA to smoke the crawl space and quickly have an angle on the shadow position. That most certainly helps, and they are not far away from Dignitas' scoreline. Let's bear that in mind. And look at the money on Dignitas. This is an opportunity. The work that FURIA did in the first half has kept them in this game for sure. Opportunity knocks. Let's see what they choose to do. Mitch could drop a weapon. Peter can drop one as well and take the AWP. So they could buy around what they have, and with a 4-round lead, there is room to do that. They've taken a tactical timeout. Their last of this game. Infinite on 19 kills now. Keserato not far behind on 18. And he must continue to deliver.
Okay, a lot of chatter. The old chin wag. I like that phrase, or that word. That's not really a phrase, chin wag. It's not one you hear all too often, but it's definitely quite British. Now we've got maybe a quick effort from FURIA onto A. They've got the potential for a lurk out of their apartments player, Vinny, B apartments player, and Yuri is there to otherwise get kills and make things. Oh, to catch aggressions like, oh, this is too easy, isn't it? Such a free kill. Looking for the follow-up as well. Oh, hello, Infinite with a very nice 1D. Oh, can't quite find space to find the second player. Grim now the last man standing here for Team Dignitas, and just like that, everyone is dead.
3 rounds between the two teams, as long as the bomb is planted on time. And the hunt is on. But if Grim were to get behind enemy defenses, well, he might just think it's a B play. Because of all this running that's going on. Spacker planting the bomb on his absolute own. I think all is fine. All is well. All is well in Camp FURIA. And there is the last kill of the round. 11 rounds for FURIA. This is an important round for Dignitas. If they lose this round, the pressure will most certainly be on their next buy. But they've got a strong buy. Peter on the AWP. He's had 12 kills so far, and on the CT side, Expect he will enjoy the spoils if he can stay away from these smoke grenades. Charging into the middle position, but he's got a grenade in his hand. Well, at that point, I maybe wasn't expecting them to come out so quickly, but hopefully he will learn from that mistake.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Either you have a teammate flash for you, or you try to sort of do that effectively and hope that they don't rush it. So two options for a flash play there. Mitch looking to get himself a peek there. Rix gets a frag. They are pressuring. Dignitas do not want FURIA to have middle without a fight. And it looks like a fight will be had, but it will not go their way. The scrappy Brazilians causing problems here for Team Dignitas. Art will fall back after the continued harassment, but they have 55 seconds. Vini's going for a run down through the B apps. Grim is close. Grim has a very good position here. It's so difficult when you're alone like that to be able to defeat Grim in that spot, and it's a distraction play.
Will they expect that two people are essentially still on the A bomb sites, however? Although they're starting to rotate out, and Yuri sees both. He's slow on the first kill, and that allows him to get the second one, and that shuts everything down. They know Grim is more or less on the B bomb site, or worst case scenario, near CT. They have no smoke grenades, though, so they'll plant inside triple. Probably the safest option at this point. And Grim, what does he choose to do? The buy failed for Dignitas. We're looking at a 13-14 scoreline now.
Yep. Yeah, it's looking really bad for Dig. It's strange, though, because, as you say, like, it really does start there with Peter's sort of misadventures in middle. The intrepid explorer just having a poor timing on the flash.
Well, he had a grenade in his hand.
Yeah.
Beyond the middle of mid.
Yep, and an adjustment there might be that you just create a rule, whereas, you know, if you're that far up at that timing, you don't pull a grenade out. Either a teammate flashes for you, or you just play without the flash.
If you want to kill somebody, hold your gun.
Because I think, you know, what he wanted there was to go for a really deep peek, which is because that's why you have that flash there, is if you go for a very deep peek. But they were being really aggressive, so he was never going to get that deep peek without having a fight first. Either way, unless Team Dignitas can get a horrible buy to work for them, then as you say, James, this will be 13-14 to FURIA, or well, to Dignitas.
Should
with
be.
FURIA coming back. Got the Krieg out. Vinny, a fan of the scopes? Perhaps a COD player in the past.
Dude, I love the Krieg so much.
Same.
I feel like if you're a flicky sniper and you play sniper a lot, and you could just get the most ridiculous one-taps with the Krieg scoped in. It just feels so dirty.
Yeah.
So I'm all about the Krieg. I just forget to buy it half the time. A weapon to be collected by Infinite, trying to deploy the Molotov towards the Tetris position, and that will force a tease out in the open, but no one else is there to capitalize. They'll have to worry about Infinite. Now, he can stay there and be a presence, try to rotate towards the ramp position. But he'll bide his time for now. Vinny taken out. He was the flanker in the connector area. Infinite still waiting around Palace as he walked through the smoke. Peter's rotating towards the ramp. I like this idea. Excuse me, they are playing retake. Rix, oh, okay. Are they rotating to B? They've all pushed through A, and they're running straight to B. This is next level.
Pretty fancy. Should work out really well, because I don't know how they're going to retake B. It has to be Grim. Grim has to do damage here. That's the only way that this works. Oh, they were lining up. You can almost see it happen in your mind's eye, but I think the window for opportunity is closed now. The Krieg is in play. maybe with the Krieg. A 3v2.
Wall bang the bench, man. Wall bang the bench.
His health is so low, isn't it? So it would have been effective. Oh. Fast shots here from FURIA. CZ can't get it done. And that is indeed 13-14.
I love that call. Who makes a call like that? That's awesome.
FURIA.
I suppose they can't plant the bomb, or they feel like they can't plant the bomb with the player in Palace. And they know that the CTs are going to concentrate their aggression because it's their eco round. So why would they be in B? It is genius if you ask me. I think everything was a risk at that point. Anyway, Dignitas now all in on this round. 2 sniper rifles on Peter and Rix. Rix, where is Rix? He is on the short position. Wasn't sure from the radar if he was there or the underpass, but we have 2 Ts in the underpass, making a pilgrimage towards the middle area. The smoke goes down in their middle position, and Peter's been subject to that smoke in so many rounds, and it is a pain. And now that Palace has been smoked off as well, it does render Peter kind of useless in his position for the time being. Art has been boosted into the window. That could be a nasty surprise for Peter later on.
Very quiet now. Oh, the peek comes in. Oh no, that's a big whiff. Oh, Peter gets it on the second go though. That's not easy to do. No chance to miss that second shot without dying, so wow. Dignitas looking like they're holding off the push fairly well now. FURIA stuck in middle with nowhere to go. Rix will nail Keserato very quick to that one. It's just down to Vinny with the Krieg. I love that we're seeing some Krieg. Oh, there you go. There's the long-range pops that you're looking for.
That's juicy.
And that is a very dead Midge, perhaps. Ooh, gets out of there in time. 15-13. Match point from Dignitas. So a couple buys left in FURIA, though. Although only one more is, at this point, actually matters. As they are against the wall. Double ops here for Team Dignitas. This is by no means a sure thing, James. This is by no means a sure thing. Oh, Vinny, he's not going for the Krieg. That makes me sad. It makes me quite sad.
Has he got the cash?
He does, James. He does.
Man, those insta headshots are just so beautiful.
Yeah. And you were a Swedish pugger. He was very, very, very good with the Krieg. He was super flicky.
I'm not Swedish, Dan. I'm English.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you were a really good pugger.
Anyway, all to play for FURIA. They have a good enough buy. Spaka lacks a helmet. Let's see if he gets shot in the face. 3 players in the apartments for FURIA at the moment. In case Rato has basically turned on the B split. Go, go, go. The bomb is in tow as well, and Dignitas have gone for the default boost, but the grenades are being deployed by FURIA, and that's going to allow Mitch to rotate towards B and get a pick onto Vinny. They still haven't pushed the site despite their great positions. Aren't moving into the jungle position now, and he might have to call for a rotation, but they're getting the kills with Yuri, and now Grim with the Krieg having to play. It might be weird. He might not get a kill because he's got to play up close. Moving from his position. There is a player around the bench. On the bench. That's a great headshot. The 180 is unreal, but there's no kill. Peter now spotted. Last man standing. 1 versus 2.
1 whole minute as well, so there's time here. Oh, he spots one. Okay, Sarate's position, but the flank's coming in as well. Peter, he's never going to turn around in time, is he? Oh, there it is. The knife comes in from Art. You'd love to see that. 14 rounds now for FURIA. 15 for Dignitas, and they got no money.
Interesting times.
Lovely.
Just watching the buy come in from Team Dignitas, and every round is dangerous for FURIA, I think it's fair to say. Peter with Molotov behind the boxes to contain the players, but what does that mean? What is that information? There's a molly top mid. You have to expect there are players in mid. Look at that spread, like jam on bread. Only 5 versus 3 for FURIA. Surely this is going to overtime. Dignitas may feel compelled to make another play, but where? And with what?
That's a good point. Ooh, Mitch, it's going to spot a couple players, but the distraction, the flash was pretty good. If Grim had pushed with that, there would have been a chance. He goes for another flash play. That could work out. Can't win the 1v1. Mitch can't trade it either. Oh no, that's a bunch of opportunities for Dig that have not come to pass. And it is looking like we will be going to overtime.
Take me to overtime.
Ronnie.
Man like Ronnie. Bilicky. I don't know where that name is from.
Yeah. There it is. Overtime. FURIA. They are... wow. What you could not call this game. You just can't call this game, can you? It's just so difficult. I thought that Dignitas had won this 5 different times. I thought they were just on the stretch, the home stretch, the last sprint. But it was stolen away by FURIA. And we can see now that it's the big reset button has been pressed. And 15-15 is the scoreline, the money all the same. MR3. Art picks off Peter. It's a good start there for FURIA. Mitch goes down as well. Dignitas need to find themselves once again on Mirage, because it does look like FURIA are feeling confident. They just performed a comeback to get the overtime. The Brazilians are fired up. This is dangerous territory for Dignitas.
Yes, it seems they needed a mental slap on the arse, and now they are going. Infinite is going to be looking the right way, up close. And that is surely the round. And this is not something that Dignitas should be going for, because this is their first round. They need guns alive for round number 2 if they lose the first one. Otherwise, round number 3 comes around and they gonna be broke. FURIA are all over the A site, but look how careful they are being. Get the bomb down before the smokes dissipate for sure. There we go. I love me some inverse default plant. And that is round 1 in the bag. And again, I think it's reasonable to say that Dignitas are the considerably stronger team. But I don't know. I mean, that's only from what we've seen so far. But maybe FURIA have finally woken up.
Yeah, it does seem that way. I mean, Art is certainly hitting some nice shots. It seems some good rounds from Keserato. Rick's just too slow. Grim will survive. Oh, there's Bleach on the floor. Oh no, he won't survive.
Hello. Those are massive frags for FURIA. Those are huge frags. They have significant implications.
And they really do. And I thought Dignitas would be much more scary on the CT side, but one thing that we haven't seen from them is effective aggression. That's been a problem. You know, we've seen a lot of aggression that just hasn't worked on round middle. Notably that very important round where Peter had the grenade out, just rushing up mid.
Yeah, now Mitch is in the middle. He was blind and still gets a kill. I was going to say maybe it's time to change it up and be unexpected. There was a smoke on the balcony position, and FURIA seem committed to this, but they are a bit edgy. Pokey and Proddy and won't really go all the way in at once. And you can see Yuri there on his own. They've kind of executed into B, except they haven't done the into B part. Then they go in bit by bit. They've allowed the CTs to get into better positions, and now they're dripping in. But Dignitas like a dry bomb site. And now, I don't know. I don't know if it's hesitation or just their style, but it's like they commit everything. We're going like they give so many grenades. You know they're all there, but then they don't push in afterwards. And that's your window is pretty small, but maybe Vinny could do something here. Shoulder peeking with the Krieg, but there are numerous lasers on his position. He has 40 seconds, but surely Peter takes the first peek, and then Infinite has a look if he can, but he will not be required. 3 players surviving for Dignitas, and that is the breathing space that they needed. That was FURIA's half to win 3-0, but I feel like they just made it harder for themselves by not pushing after throwing all the stuff that you throw before you push.
Yeah, they had a window for sure to get a couple players out there, and I think it's partially because they were too worried about the player who was in the corner next to Edward, next to the pillar, which they sort of deep peeked, but then were exposed to a different angle, and then all of a sudden they've lost the timing to get out the apartments. So yeah, you got to be really careful with those apartments timings. 16-16. It's going to be interesting to see which way this goes, and I do like seeing aggression on middle. It hasn't gone very well for Dignitas a bunch of times, but they can even do it with 3 players at the beginning of a round, or there's lots of different ways to execute it. And we're going to see Mitch going up there again, so this is good. Peter gets the first pick off. That's going to further perhaps give confidence to Mitch to go forwards. The flash is there. Mitch is going to go down to the Krieg though, and that's very unfortunate after getting the advantage there. Oh, Yuri spam the corner. Oh, he's going to run through. They're both going to run through. That's the bomb, and that's a massive problem. Now Vinny will rejoin, but it's 1v4, and he's been doing excellent work with the Krieg, honestly, showing why it's actually, I mean, it is legitimately, in every single sense, a great gun. You just don't see it too much. 17-16, Dignitas with the edge moving into the second half of the first overtime.
Bro fists all round from the boys in black and yellow, black and yellow. One round leads. 19 rounds required to take a W in overtime number 1. Now let's see what FURIA invest. They've gone all in the first round. 2 AWPs, the AUG as well. Just the one sniper for Peter for Team Dignitas. And they will start passively in case of any aggressive push by the CTs. And that's what Peter's doing is nice. When you know your opponent is on a force buy or an eco, you don't necessarily want to run to the top of mid. If, say, 2-3 players charged him, he could take a shot and fall back safely from his position. So always something to bear in mind, what your opponents are likely to be doing or possibly doing, and limit your risk at times.
Look how quiet Dignitas are at the moment. We saw this similar round to this in the past, where they were able to pull some rotation by throwing some flashbangs, but this is, you know, still no presence. Okay, we're going to smoke it. Coming in from Rix. Is that to jungle? Yeah. So jungle smoke and a stairs smoke. That's beta reaction. And looks like they'll try to go... Are they going to go B with this? Go for the fake. FURIA just holding position. They haven't really heard anything after the smokes.
They've expended a reasonable amount of utility now. Infinite and Rix. Do they make a play into A, or do they wait to cut off the rotation? Seems Peter's decided to rotate the bomb from deep in B apps towards the A site, but that's not really going their way. So does he commit to this? Both players have been lost, but now the whole team is rotating. There are 4 smokes on the B bomb site. Sound cues for days for FURIA. This should be an easy win for them. Absolutely easy. Look at they have to take risks. They have to gamble. It's so bizarre though. It's like they haven't had a change of heart. 3 players in B apartments, and Peter's got to run all the way from B apps all the way around towards A. So that's like they're not following their plan. I don't know if it's because of the grenade or what.
I mean, it was just a double fake, but it just looks really, really weird. it was a double fake, but it's just, I don't know, it wasn't effective. I think you know, I mean, my personal preference is that that's a bit complex. It's a bit overly complicated. We'll see if they can find a different approach here. Looking to go for a mid-take. Smoke blooms just in time. Aren't going for the pot shots, though. Ooh, it's dangerous. They're running up short. I like this. The splits. Very fast split. Good change of pace here coming from Dignitas.
Yeah, look at the difference from the split we saw attempted in the first half. They're not messing around. They just go for it immediately and kill absolutely everybody. No hesitation whatsoever. Surgical, precise. That is a wipeout. Both AWPs taken out of action, but that would have been more important in the first round of this half. So, I mean, you basically have 2 rounds to compare. When FURIA went for the split, I'm pretty sure it was FURIA who went for the B split, but then didn't really fully commit. Yeah, they got stuck.
Yeah.
Whereas Dignitas, like you have the positions, abuse the positions. You have advantages, abuse your advantages. The 2 AWPs are back for FURIA in the last round of overtime 1. Dignitas are at match point. They are on the cusp of a 2-0 over FURIA. FURIA have all the tools they need to defend with.
Vinny in a good position there. Will it be Molotov down? Spacker goes down straight away. That's the problem because Vinny doesn't have too much to work with now. And he will go down straight away also. It's a good entry from Dignitas. Can they make this work? On the last round, this is it to take this match against FURIA. FURIA, there's no way back in. It's just Yuri left now on V3. Oh my god, he gets 2 on the spray.
Whoa.
And he stops the bomb from going down. He may have just given himself an opportunity to try to clutch this as he pushes forwards. Ooh, it's close, but not close enough. Rix takes him down, and Dignitas have done it. It was messy, and it took a while, and it was scary. But they got it done in the end.
I think that definitely went further than it should have. And it got a little worrisome for Dignitas towards the end in overtime, but indeed it is a 2-0 ultimately. And again, things didn't always go perfectly, but you can use that as value for review to improve from. 28 frags, good enough for Rix. Oh, sorry, 29 frags for Mitch, actually. He was just in front. Yuri ended up with 28 as well, so there was a good average for the most part on the T side. Yeah, congratulations to Dignitas on the 2-0. FURIA, I think there's a lot for them to look at and review and learn from. Obviously the T sides are a massive question mark for them. The hesitation and just the lack of thorough planning in some previous matches that we saw. The first match, for example.
Yeah, there's definitely lots to work on. We saw the firepower. There's firepower there. There's some skill there, but strategically, I think they need to work on protocols. I think a coach. I don't know if they have a coach, but I think they're a team that does definitely need some coaching just to put in some of those protocols. Maybe a dose of a player that's really experienced that can come in and help them. But they have the pieces there. I think they just need the guidance into the right path.
Absolutely, lots of development to be had, and we live in a great world of Counter-Strike where there are plenty of tournaments and leagues to get involved in and have that development. So hopefully they are able to do that and continue to progress. It was the first time that we've seen them, and would certainly like to see them in the future. They kind of remind me of an earlier Luminosity in some respects, where you can see the potential there, but they just need to sharpen some of the edges. Parla is with the winners of this match. Over to you, Parla.
I know how it is, Peter. Great to see you. When I was in the green room earlier today, probably a couple hours ago, you said you're speaking to me later.
It's true.
Yeah, and look, we're here now. Was that mentality and the focus what brought you the victory just now?
I think we just stayed composed at the end. We were starting to slip on CT side at the end. We started arguing and getting in each other's heads, but eventually we just calmed down and played the game.
Okay, so is that currently an issue you think you guys can improve on? Communication and not letting you get ahead of yourselves or at each other?
Yeah. We just need to stick together, keep comms up. Just don't lose your head, stay focused. It's easy to lose your head, especially on LAN, especially when people mess up small things and big rounds. But we just need to stay focused and worry about Cole.
Coming into this matchup, did you guys feel like you were the better team compared to FURIA? FURIA have been looking to get some strong results recently, as you guys yourself have been, and you're in this team kind of like relatively new, and just talk a bit about that in terms of what it gave to this matchup.
Yeah, I don't really think we're better than them. I don't like saying that, but I think they're a really good opponent. We played our game. We could have played a lot better, but we just had good prep. We talked a lot. We made sure everyone knew what we were doing, and we just stick to our game plan.
And managing to win Inferno, that not only gave you a lot of momentum going into the second map, but I think it spoke quite a bit in terms of how you guys are approaching the game, because it's not necessarily a great map for you guys. And when you were there on the serve, you did fantastically.
Yeah, the thing was, Inferno was our worst map coming into here, and we actually talked about it a lot. We fixed our T-side early rounds, all about not getting entry for free. And I think we improved that, and I think we just, snowballed them at the end there on T-side, and they just couldn't do anything.
Congratulations on the win, but unfortunately, you're going to have to be ready very soon for your final match of the day. You're playing against Complexity. Dignitas and Complexity, two storied esports teams, but in CS, these organizations have been around for so long. Firstly, what does that mean for you guys playing as Dignitas, squaring off against them?
That means a lot. They're two legendary orgs. I used to be on that team, so I want to come for revenge. But other than that, I'm not thinking about that. I just want to play the game.
Okay, well, I was going to delve in deeper. I was trying to lead into it, but if you don't want to say more on it, just tell me about the matchup in general and what you think is going to happen when you guys battle it out over 3 maps very shortly.
Well, they clearly have the map veto advantage. They have more maps than us. They play all 7 maps, so it's going to be really hard. I think we just need to make a quick game plan, understand what we need to do, and just focus on that. I don't think we need to think more than that.
There we go. Peter, any final words that you'd like to say to everybody at home?
Thanks for all the fans, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. That'll be it for now. We still have one more best of 3 to go today. It's going to be Dignitas, who just bested FURIA, going up against Complexity.
Dignitas there, proving me right yet again on the desk. So I'm just going to throw it over to Jacob, who predicted 2-1 to FURIA. Jacob, you actually creeped around. Maybe you're trying to distract Dignitas so you could be right, but you mentioned the comms were on fire.
I don't know if you heard Vendetta before we went into this game, but he said that I predicted Dignitas a lot of times where it didn't go my way. So I thought this time around, if I go against him, it may happen, and I take full credit for this one. Dignitas 1-2-0, exactly as I thought in myself.
It's the reverse jinx.
I just fell off my box. I'm on a box because I'm so short, and Jacob shot me off my box. Talk to me about that console, Peter really pulling that team together.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was standing behind them on the first map and listening into the communications, and one of the things I want to look at when I watch the NA team is how they communicate both in the freeze time and also in the middle of the round. And I was quite surprised about how calm and collected the communication were, and it felt like all the members of the Dignitas team were chiming in all the time, letting Peter know how many smokes were used or burned on the different sides, and in general just pitching in ideas at all times.
Well, let's take a look at the stats. Any surprises there?
No, but again, a team that communicates well, does well, usually in unison, and that's what we're seeing pretty much all over the Dignitas lineup. You can see a lot of frags all across the board, really. Rick, Scrim, Mitch, and Infinite. Infinite especially had a great series, but